Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about 28 years since the WWE curtain call, which involved members of the KLIQ. Of course, leading of, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall leaving for WCW. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, of course, staying with the WWF. This was May 19th, 1996. And for me, this really sparked, a whole new era of wrestling. The next couple of months were going to be crazy, and the next couple of years were even better. Everything just seemed to be, firing on all cylinders. Very similar to how things are today. Packed out arenas, everyone's over, everything you push really, turns a profit. So this was released back in 2015. Might have even been 2016. It's only got a 7-hour runtime, which is, just a bit of a shame. Very cool, artwork here with the guys at Scott Hall's Hall of Fame speech. Triple H, Kevin Nash, Shawn Michaels, Scott and Sean Waltman, X-Pac. Very cool picture here. Inside it does have somewhat of a documentary, but again, they've talked about this stuff so many times with these, the Monday Night Wars DVDs and the other stuff. But I think this time they actually go in a bit more detail here. Here's a look at it. But the documentary, it's not that long. It's, probably an hour or so. Different artwork. It was just really hard to see that white. But yeah, really cool disc art. Shawn Michaels was WWF champion for a lot of this era, or a good couple of years. He had 3 reigns as WWF champion, and then Scott Hall and the Kid, Razor Ramon, 1, 2, 3 Kid. So very cool set. So yeah, this happened, like I said, 28 years ago today. And, I think, all 5 of these guys were a big part of that boom period in the mid-90s. Even in WWF, with Razor and Shawn in those, incredible ladder matches. Moments on Monday Night Raw with the Kid and Razor. And then Shawn Michaels and Diesel. They had a couple of good matches, but they were a team there for, it probably wasn't as long as people think, but it was a good, year or so. Maybe 2 years. Razor and Diesel initially from WCW, with Oz and, the Diamond Stud, weren't real big fans of the way things was running and whatever. Eventually, Eric Bischoff becomes president and is handing out guaranteed contracts. He's secured Hogan, Savage, Mean Gene, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and they're going out to test the waters. This is even before Brett. And they're getting guaranteed money for less dates. That was a big thing they were, trying to bargain for. And eventually Vince said, I can't do it. Then, this guy's going to want it, that guy's going to want it, so on and so forth. So, initially we get Scott Hall coming out on Nitro. The next week we have, Kevin Nash showing up. It's a big thing. And then Hogan turns, they form the NWO. And at the same time, you're having, Shawn Michaels having the best matches of his life with Bret Hart and having stuff with Vader. I think, Shawn Michaels, he really, unfortunate circumstances, he is out for a lot of 97 with injuries. Screw job happens, and then he's out again with the back injury. So he think they really shortchanged him and, his impact, because he was a big time player. Some of the matches they include here, like I mentioned, the Razor and Kid from Monday Night Raw. These are in 93, May and June. Actually, that was May 17th, though the anniversary was a couple of days ago of that, 31 years. And then you have Razor versus Diesel on Raw. So he was there in 93. So he was there for a good 3 years. 2.5, 3 years. Shawn Michaels versus 1-2-3 Kid. Very good match. Bret Hart and 1-2-3 Kid. That's a match to go out of your way to watch. We have a tag team title match. Shawn Michaels and Razor for the IC title. WrestleMania 10. Classic match. SummerSlam 94. The rematch. Or no. SummerSlam 95, sorry. You got the classic Survivor Series match. Monday Night Raw, Razor versus Triple H. Crybaby match from 96. Good Friends, Better Enemies. And, by this point in time in 96, April of 96, they already know they're leaving. This is going to be, he's going to put over Taker at Mania. He's going to put over Shawn, and I think that was about it for him. He put over, I think, Shawn a couple of times. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H in 96. And then we have a couple of matches from Nitro, Backlash. Cool 6-man tag here from SmackDown in 02. You have Triple H versus X-Pac. Kevin Nash versus Scott Hall was not a good match. I wish they included, it's really hard to say this, but because there are so many, Nitro sets and things like that, but, a couple more Outsiders matches, 6 in WCW also had a pretty good run there. Kevin Nash versus Triple H, Judgment Day 2003, and DX versus Jericho. See, it's a, an odd match to throw on there, but, after years and years, DX finally reformed, and they never really looked back. That was in 2009. Well, this is a weird DVD set. You could probably find it cheaper now, but even at the time, it was kind of becoming the end of DVDs. They really pushed there towards 2016, 2018 is when we started to really see the DVD sets dip a bit. And then the last couple of years, there's the shot from that Backlash match. But yeah, these guys really changed the way the game is viewed today with contracts and things like that. Really influenced the Monday Night Wars and, Nitro versus Raw. But these guys, they weren't at war with each other. It was more of a, the company thing. And I mean, how many, DX, NWO, arguments have you heard over the years where, the NWO had too many members, but, that initial 3, 4, 5 members was, a big part of it. And then you look at DX, they kept their core members. They never really added anyone. It was, strong from beginning to end. Cool shot on this Blu-ray, you know, Austin and Brett, you know, kind of that DX in 98, 99, really cool stuff. And I'm sure it'll be, you know, discussed again with the KLIQ and all their, you know, shenanigans they pulled. They were notorious ribbers and pulling pranks on people. They never really wanted to put anyone over except themselves or each other. And you'll hear the stories till the end of time that, you know, Kevin Nash was champion for a year. He never drew a dime. He did this and that, but hey, he must have did something right. He held the belt for a year. He went to WCW. He made more money than he could ever, you know, blink an eye at. But, you know, people always have their stories about the KLIQ. It's, for me, these are like, you know, 3 or 4 of them, you know, I consider to be the best of all time. You know, every one of them's a Hall of Famer with DX or solo inductions. You know, I'm looking at you, Triple H, for another solo induction. It probably won't happen now that he's, you know, in head of creative. But Triple H's Hall of Fame speech, I really would like to see that one day. Even X-Pac, I feel, deserves his own kind of induction. You know, let me know your thoughts on the KLIQ. As always, comment, subscribe, everything down below. Let me know your thoughts on the KLIQ, the Monday Night Wars, Hall and Nash going to WCW, the curtain call, and as always, I'll talk to you later.